And there we go. We're going live again. Thank you so much for joining me and for watching with me today. I really appreciate it. That's really great of you. Let me know what you think of the end. Uh, like if you're watching, post a comment right now. It helps actually. I've seen it help. It really does help. It helps so much actually. So thank you for all of your support. Welcome, friend. Welcome. Hope you're well. Hope you're happy. Hope you're safe. Hope you're healthy. I'm gonna be breaking up some bud. Before I do though, do you want to see what it looks like? Let's see if it will focus. Maybe if I take away my face. Focus please. There we go. It's a pretty bud. I wish I could show you in more detail. But yeah. I have a lot of light behind me. A little bit overexposed, but I can't change what's it called? My ISO on these apps, unfortunately. Not yet. I do believe Reddit will come out with an ISO function so that I can show you a little bit more of the beautiful clouds. You can see if I do this. So pretty today. So pretty today. I'm really happy. Wasn't too hot. And actually, it was a little bit cold waking up today. I recently, a friend of mine told me about this thing called the 5 a.m. Club. It's a book he was reading. But basically, it goes into saying that by waking up at 5 a.m. and doing all of the things that you want to do, exercise, write in your journal, do some reading, like doing all of these things in these early hours, you're basically winning the first hour of your life and or the first hour of your day. And by winning the first hour of your day, you win the rest of it as well. So I did that this morning. Woke up at 5 a.m. and it was, I wouldn't say it was hard actually. It wasn't even hard. Woke up feeling pretty good, did some exercise, live streamed me doing some exercise. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel like when I exercise, I get too in my own head, and then I can't exactly interact with all of you beautiful people. Good agreeable. Good morning to you and aloha as well. Welcome, man. Welcome. There we go. Just like that, my butt has been crushed. So, one of the downsides of this thing is sometimes, only sometimes, it flattens a bud like that. And then, since it's like technically its integrity has already been destroyed, you can just kind of break it up with your fingers. I've been having some really weird thoughts about when someone helps you crush weed because technically some of your skin oils does release and then in turn gets caught in your bud, and then when you smoke that bud, technically you're smoking someone's skin oils. And I know that sounds disgusting, but hear me out. I don't think it is. I think it's chemistry, and it's chemistry that you experience. So depending on the intent and depending on the person that rolls your or helps you roll your bud, it's going to be a different experience. Does that make any sense? How are you, my friend? I'm doing really well. Thank you so much. I'm doing really well. Uh, I got some work done this morning. Exercised again for the first time. Like, exercise properly for the intent of exercising for the first time in a long time. And yeah, I just feel good for it. I feel really good for it. Johan Liebert, say what's up. Johan Liebert, are you from South Africa? Because Johan is like one of the most common South African names. Everybody knows a Yuan. Everybody knows a Yuan. What type of tree is directly behind you? I have no idea, to be honest. Like, no idea whatsoever. Um, I'll have to find out. I have this cool app. I think it's called Plant ID. I think it's called Plant ID online, where you basically upload a photo of a plant and it suggests, gives you a bunch of results, and then you can go through those, look at other people's pictures as well, and try and identify the plant you are looking at. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So maybe I'll have to take some time and figure out what plant that is. Tree the plant, right? Yeah. Yes. I'm gonna roll myself some bud. I've been thinking about my smoking habits a lot actually. And the intent I've been using, the way I feel about it, the way I do it, the reason I do it. I've been talking to friends about it as well, sharing my experiences, sharing what it is I do. Alex, I don't know if he's here today, doesn't seem that way, but Alex also started implementing the whole intent thing, where before you actually start smoking, you set yourself an intent for why it is you're smoking. And he also had good results. Told me it made his smoking experience more enjoyable. And you don't have to do it only with smoking stuff. You can do it with anything in life. Before you eat a meal, before you ask a girl out, before you talk to someone, just identify what your intent is. Because if you have good intent, it's going to be a good interaction. If you have bad intent, either it's going to be a bad interaction, or you shouldn't have that interaction. Right? Right? Try that. What region of South Africa are you from, friendo? I am from, technically, Klerksdorp. I was born in Klerksdorp. But now I live in Mpumalanga. Switch to oil. It's healthier. It's not about switching to something because it's healthier, because technically I'm already on oil. Because I do the keto diet, so most of my calories come from oil. But I'm assuming you're talking about cannabis oil, and that is definitely healthier, but you can't exactly roll yourself a casual joint and then smoke little puffs of it, because oil is pretty strong and it's concentrated, so the little bit that you smoke goes a long way. Appropriate farmer. Good 100, he says. Okay, yes, good 100 indeed. Thank you so much, everybody, all of my friends, for joining me today. I see we have a bunch of people here with us. Please feel free to ask me a question. I'd love to answer some. I really like answering questions, especially the ones that make me think, Give me some good questions. And I hope to give you some good answers. But while I wait, I'll be casually rolling. With intent rolling as well. Rolling to make it beautiful. I do believe that almost anything can be seen as art. Like, my mother brought me a cup of coffee this morning, and it was black coffee. And you know how coffee has that almost yellowy foam on top of it? And the way the foam formed was almost like with clouds. Looked like an expanse of clouds on top of the coffee with the little yellow foam. And it was beautiful. And then I thought to myself, now I'm going to drink this beautiful cup of coffee. And technically everything can be seen as beautiful, right? So, beautiful plate of food that you eat, beautiful joint that you smoke, beautiful glass of water that you drink, think if we have intent to do things out of beauty and out of love for ourselves, I think times will be better for everybody involved. What's train? This is still lemon haze, friend. Still lemon haze. I have some sour diesel and iced cabbage coming soon. So I'm looking forward to that. More so looking forward to experiencing different chemistry actually. Because these plants, different phenotypes, different levels of trichomes, different levels of terpenes, all of these things contribute to the final result, the final experience. And they have a bunch of different cannabinoids. Like most people only know CBD and THC, cannabidiol and tetrahydrocannabinol, but there are a lot more, a lot more. And when you smoke them, you experience them in some form of way as well. It's called crema. Crema? What is called crema? My pestle almost rolled off of my chair. Morocco Tamama. Katama. I have no idea what that means. Typically on espresso. Oh, it's called crema. The foam on top of coffee is called crema. Crema? I didn't know that. Learning something new. There was just a butterfly. Came and said hi, but it's off again. And pooled shots. Typically on espresso and pooled shots. Morocco Katama. I don't know what that means, dude. Katama. Like, give me some more information. Then I know what it is you're talking about. Just like that, I've taken the hat off of my doink. Happy smoking, lol. They don't have a joint emojis, so I use the cigarette emoji. Thank you very much. I definitely will be happy smoking this, but gonna take a nice cold sip of water. And I want to think for a second what it is I'm smoking for today. Persistence. We have a word called deersettingsvermoë, which basically directly translates into your ability to push through. Pushing through ability. That's technically what our word means. Deersettingsvermoë. And it's something that I have a lot of, but I feel like I'm prone to not use it. Like I'll start doing something. I'm specifically talking about my work in 3D right now. I did quite a few things, but then I hit like a roadblock, and it frustrates me so much that I just stopped. After like failing like, multiple times over and over again. And I just wish I had even more, or I would use more of my deersettingsvermoë, my persistence, my willingness to conquer my obstacle in front of me in the moment. So I'm smoking to remind myself, I'm smoking to give myself, I'm smoking to teach myself more persistence. So please enjoy. If any of you are smoking with me at home, I hope you're having a good one as well. And I hope you set an intent for yourself as well. Or you can use my intent. I think I have good intentions when it comes to these sort of things. So feel free. Definitely feel free. Katana, Morocco good. yes, it seems you love Morocco, friend. I'm I'm happy. Katana to me means sword, so Japanese sword. Hmm. 10.5. 10.5. Thank you for giving me hugs, friend. Mr. Cozy Slinky. That's very nice of you. I would love to give you a hug back right now, but unfortunately, I'm on the other side of the world, and it seems the wind also has plans of its own. Hello there, Mr. Whiskey Business. I hope you're well, friend. How many scoobs do you smoke a day? Only one these days. I've cut down to only one. I usually don't finish my joints during my streams because I've been taking it really easy, and then I usually put it down. I go take my footage, edit it, sound correct, color correct, post it on YouTube, and then only after I've done all of that, I go back and then I get the other half of my joint. Smoke that, and then I'm off to bed. I've been I've been following almost like a nightly ritual lately, where before I go to bed, I the first thing I do is I pull cards. I have this deck of 64 sacred geometry cards. So basically, sacred geometry, the idea of it is that our universe follows these sacred geometries. Like we have these information patterns, fractals and spirals, the golden ratio, stuff like that. So it's based on stuff like that. And then I shuffle my cards. I I have different techniques for pulling, but the gist of it is me closing my eyes and then imagining in my mind's eye which one of them look brighter than the other ones. And then I reach out to that bright spot in my mind and I'll pull those cards. And sometimes I pull seven, sometimes I pull three, and it varies. And it's usually like a in the moment and a feeling thing. And every single time I do that, I always get a message. And it's usually a message based on the things I was thinking throughout the day, which is quite surreal, or the things I did today, which it always trips me out. But it's always good information that I get. After that, I have these little pieces of paper that I cut for myself. I write down something that I'm very grateful for, or that I was grateful for during my day. I put it in a box, and I intend to give that box to myself at the end of the year as a Christmas gift to remind myself again of all of the things I was grateful for throughout this year. And I'm very grateful for you, friend. Thank you so much for watching. And after I write down what I'm grateful for, I sit and I usually put in my earphones, get some binaural beats going. So basically, just to give you a rundown if you don't know, binaural beats is one frequency in your left ear, one frequency in your right ear, and then your brain wants to almost hear the difference. So it like becomes in sync, and your left brain and your right brain almost work together instead of your left brain being the dad and your right brain being the child. And they become synced, hemi-sync. And then I also do breathing exercises. So 30 deep breaths in and out. On the last breath, you breathe out all of your air, hold that for as long as you can, breathe in twice, hold the second breath for as long as you can, and then you release it after you can't anymore. Then I do a breathing exercise that gets your body involved. You move back and forth as you breathe in and out. And basically, last breath, 50th breath, you breathe out everything again, hold it for as long as you can, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, hold that for as long as you can. And then you do the 30 breaths again. And by the end of those, like meditation slash breathwork exercises, I'm so I feel tranquil, I feel relaxed, I feel like free from anxiety. And then when I basically keep in my last breath from going from a straight up good posture sitting position, I lay back and then I fall asleep in less than 5 minutes. Like sometimes it feels like I fall asleep in seconds. Uh, Thank you very much for the silver reward, Kanker Tumor. Sorry for letting your comments run away a little bit, but I'll read them all now, I promise. Smoking up here in Boston. Cheers. Cheers to you as well, friend. Question: are you smoking weed? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Everything is math. Everything is math, dude. Math is math is the math, but not what the universe is based on. The universe is based on principles that can be expressed in math. Do you prefer bong to joint or joint to bong? I think it's an occasion thing. If you're smoking alone and just for yourself, bong hits can be pretty nice. But if you're smoking with friends, a joint is very nice. So I think it's situational. It's based on love for life. The universe, I think, is love, dude. Just love. Do you like numerology? I'm interested in it. I wouldn't say I like it, but I am curious by it, or intrigued by it, I should say, rather, because it's something that in my life I experience a lot of synchronicity, seeing double numbers multiple times a day. So, like at some point, you stop seeing it as just a coincidence, and you just start being more receptive to any information that you might receive. Have a silver from me. Thank you again, Ganker Tumor. I appreciate it for the extra time that you've given us. I think I'll do that. Please try it. Please try it. It really helps. Double pre-collated. Pre-collated? I don't know what that is. Double pre-collated bongs. Gotta have some sacred geometry going on. You're confusing me, friend. Pineal frequencies are insane. Yes. There's also this thing with your heart and your mind, and your heart can literally move your brain 0.0001 to 0.0005 millimeters, I think, like up and down in your brain, in your like skull fluid, and you become like literally you're on a frequency between I think 5.5 and 7 or something like that, or 7.5. And if you're living in that frequency and you're living in synchronicity, you just experience more connection to the earth, more connection to your fellow human, more connection to the critters that live around you, your pets. It becomes a very surreal experience. I'll write things that are positive, that happens every day, and then at the end of the year I can look back at a positive 2021. Yes, exactly. And by writing down something positive, you're recognizing within yourself that there are positive things in your day. And by recognizing positive things and enforcing positive things, reaffirming positive things, you attract positive things into your life. Have you heard of Wim Hof? I follow some of Wim Hof's what's his ideologies, I guess. So I do cold showers as well, and I think the first breathwork exercise, the 30 breaths one, is a Wim Hof breath exercise actually. No, it's love for life, all life. Without life, love means nothing. Yeah, but then again, without life, love means nothing. And then without love, life means nothing. So they kind of need each other, don't they? Do you believe in God? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But I don't believe in the traditional Judeo, I think that's the right way to say, Judeo-Christian God. It's a beautiful day. It's felt so good doing these streams every day. only smoking my first joint with all of you beautiful people. You make me feel a little bit less alone. And thank you. Thank you so much for that. It means more than you know. I hope I can do the same thing for you. Know that you aren't alone. Know that if you send a comment, I'll probably read it, even if it takes me forever. But I'm here for you as well if you need someone to talk to. Some of you have now figured out that I actually answer to my direct messages as well. So if you need someone to chat to, I am available. Thank you for your awesome presence and your amazing thoughts. Thank you for your compliments and your presence as well. You can't have a beautiful day without a bad one. Nothing to base it on. I agree. I think there has to be contrast. And I also believe that life is a sine wave. You have ups and then you have downs and you have ups again and downs again. And sometimes that frequency oscillates and it differentiates. Sometimes there's longer ups, or it takes you longer to get to an up. Sometimes it feels like a constant downpour, like because you're going from the up all the way slowly down to the bottom. But no, as soon as you reach the bottom, you're literally on a path to go back up again. So just be aware of that. And as long as we're aware of that, I don't think we have that much to be sad about, do we? I should shave again. It's getting a little bit long again. The mustache is what usually reminds me of it, because I'll take a sip of water and then I'll have like a whole ass dam or a river attached to my face. And it's uncomfortable, so I usually try and avoid that. I'll shave it again. Life is profoundly beautiful. And it's something I say on every single one of these streams. And I'll keep saying it on every single one of these streams because it is. Life is so beautiful and there is so much beauty in it as well. You just have to kind of stop and notice sometimes. Because if you're on your way to work or school or an appointment or a meeting or whatever it may be, and you walk past a bouquet of flowers, that bouquet of flowers isn't any less beautiful because you didn't look at it. But I think potentially your day is less beautiful because you didn't look at it, right? So just because sometimes life feels miserable and horrible, it doesn't actually make it miserable or horrible. It just makes your day miserable or horrible. Life is always beautiful if we take the time to notice and to appreciate the things that we do notice. Talking about the beard, it looks fine. Thank you. It's more of a bothersome thing than anything. I would like to be able to grow like a full Gandalf beard someday, but unfortunately, I don't think that's in my genetic cards. Not something that I was exactly blessed with. I was blessed with a lot of other things, but not great beard genetics. Maybe with CRISPR someday, for like a week, I can have like the most giga beard ever. I don't think I would rock it, but it would be fun to be able to stroke my own beard, wouldn't it? No need to shave it. Thank you. Oh. I wonder. I'm considering going and sitting on the grass, but it's gonna be so shaky for the camera. But I do feel a calling, so I'm gonna respect my intuition. Uh, Give me a sec. Get my joint. Get my cup of water. Let's move to the grass. Take my shoes off. Hot diggity damn. That is some good stuff. Okay, I'm gonna have to go get some bricks. Because grass is not stable. But bricks are. Life lessons with Meltmore. There we go. Now I'm gonna have to adjust it all the way down like so. And then get my cup of water. Ah, that feels so good. Trust yourselves. When you have a gut feeling and an intention, trust it. You have more power than you know. Oh, man, this feels like the earth is hugging me in a way. Hey kids. The cat wants attention. I can give you attention. It's here. Come say hello to the people. You have a dog. Hello, Eva. Go whoops. Oh, sorry. We have more dogs. So blissfully unaware. And dogs don't care. They don't know about COVID. They don't know about economies crashing, about privacy violations. And they don't care. They just live happy, content little lives. Be good to your dogs. They're here for a lot shorter time than we are. We have to give them as much value as possible because they are very valuable. There's a lot of land. How many acres is all of that? I have no idea, but it's like kilometers. It's not all ours, fortunately, but there are kilometers and kilometers of land. The mountains are like, I think, 2.5 kilometers away. I like that goat. She the goat, dude. She the goat. She really is. She's the greatest of all time. And she's hairless. So no hair on you, no dust, no like debris. She's a lot cleaner than most dogs, even though I'm still gonna wash my hands after giving her pets. So boobs. I'm feeling. I feel almost nostalgic, actually. Quite nostalgic. I've been talking to a lot of friends lately. For long. Me and a friend that
only reconnected yesterday. Had like a 2 hour chat over the phone, and I think he might even be watching. And if he is, I want him to know that I appreciate you, dude. Like it's been really nice chatting to you. He has a great view and knowledge of philosophy. He is passionate about writing, and it makes me happy to hear there are good people in the world. And I think we have to be good people in this world. Find the good people in the world. Share with them. I used to call my dog a mini cow and a goose. uh, I usually call my oldest dog a puppy. I'll be like, oh, my Baba doinky, my klein woofie. Talk to him like he's a baby dog, and then I'll give him pets. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm being condescending, but he seems to appreciate it. Makes him very happy. I call my girlfriend's cat a piglet and a chicken. I don't know why I get off on calling animals other animals other animals. It's an interesting thing to get off on, calling animals other animals, because in that case, let me feel if it's any good for me. This next to me isn't a cat, it's a hippopotamus. Yeah. And the dog here isn't a dog, he is a giraffe. Doesn't quite work. I think you have to stay with a small animal. Like a piglet and a goose is pretty small. A cow, not so much. Hmm. Maybe like pony? Yeah, I'll call him a pony. Try and go to a park if you have access to one. I don't know how your lockdown regulations are right now, but try and get your ass in a park. Parks are good for you, not just because of the fresh air, but more so because of the fractals. Everything has fractals if you look at them, dude. Especially trees. Go from one thing to three things, and the three things split up in smaller things, and then those smaller things become branches, and those branches become leaves. It's a fractal, and it's beautiful, and it's everywhere, and it's unique in its own way every time. Even the way the grass grows, like how the blades of grass lay against each other, form a perfect sun shield, keep moisture in, protects the soil from erosion as well. Nature's carpet. It's always amazing when you connect with family and friends, when you've been out of touch with, that you've been out of touch with. It's as if time has really not passed because the love is always present. Interestingly enough, me and this guy weren't that close, I believe, in high school. We were acquaintances at most, had some good conversations, but not like exchange numbers, consider visiting each other type of friends, if you understand what I mean. But now we are considering like visiting each other. Would like to hang out, maybe like have some uh, water, probably. Yeah, like now that I'm thinking about it, probably just have some water and just have some chats. Like me and him seem to have a lot to talk about. Fortunately, and it makes me happy actually. I love to talk to people that have things to talk about. You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like I'm just like stuck with a conversation because the person isn't talking about things or responding. It's fun to talk. Nature's carpet, nice. Never looked at it like that. Yeah, dude. And I believe it's very healthy for you to go and sit on the grass as well, especially without shoes, and try and make some skin contact. I know it can be itchy sometimes with all of the insects that live in it, and maybe you have allergies, so you've convinced yourself that you have allergies. Like I once convinced myself I had allergies, but ever since coming back to being able to take my shoes off and step on the ground, sit on the ground, feel the grass, it's done a lot for I think my mental health as well, with my understanding of nature and how much beauty there is to experience. Hmm. Okay, yeah. I thought for a second we only had 30 seconds left. I was shocked. The sounds of nature. You're hearing some sounds of beauty as well right now. But there's bees buzzing, little flies zipping around, birds in the background, little leaves rustling, birds chatting away. They've been a lot more, I think, contained, a little bit more decent, I'd say, as far as tenants or neighbors go. Fortunately, we don't mind the singing. Isn't that curious? That humans find enjoyment out of the chatter of other creatures. I wonder if any other animal thinks that our voices or the sounds that we make are enjoyable to listen to. Like if I talk to my dog, I know if I say some things, he's going to enjoy what I'm saying to him because he starts to associate the word treat with getting a treat. So the word treat stimulates the response that the treat responds or stimulates in his mind. So it becomes a feedback loop. But like the little birds aren't feeding us when they're making sounds. So there's no reason for us to have a feedback loop, right? And yet they are so chill. And the noises they make are pretty sharp, but they have some sort of melodic value to it. Hmm. Life is amazing. I hope I can share more. I feel a little bit almost encapsulated by nature. It's so beautiful. Realize that you aren't an individual in a reality, you are reality. Yeah, there's a word here in Hawaii. It's called kanipali. Yeah, kani kapila, kani kapila. which means impromptu jam sessions. Cantu means sound. Pila means any string instrument. Canti, capilla. And spontaneous, you say. Impromptu, more so. That's nice. Is it something that you do as a culture? Is it something that's passed on to your children? Or is it more like a thing that some people enjoy doing in Hawaii? Hawaii. Excuse me. Birds. They can be really rude, you know. They can be pretty rude. They're little dinosaurs. Or at least the remnants of them. When you see it in their primal activity, they can be pretty brutal and dangerous. Imagine dinosaurs with feathers. The stream is about to come to an end. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Thank you for sharing this time with me. And I think that's the lesson I want to leave for today. Realize that you aren't part of a reality. You are a reality. Literally. There's so much beauty and value to be had if you're just willing to receive it and see it. Go in love and go in light. Bye bye.